So I just removed the cabin air filter from my 2006 Subaru Impreza. The printed instructions were wrong. What else is new? Next to useless. So we're making this little video to help someone who might want to check their cabin air filter. It's down here. This is where, okay, here's your shifter. It's behind the glove box. And in order to get to the cabin air filter, you have to remove the glove box. It's not easy. You're kneeling outside the car. We're going to put it back in and I'll show you all the pitfalls as we replace it. Now here's the one I'm pulling out. In the past we have had a very large mouse nest on top of this, similar to what was in my 2005 VW Golf. Today we're just looking at usual road dirt, a couple of seeds. It's really not bad. I don't know how well we can see through this. Can't really, sun's not out right now. We've been sprayed. It's completely overcast. What else is new? But we have a new one here. Now the first thing I notice, look at the number of pleats on the new one compared to the number of pleats on the old one. Does that mean we have a lot less filtration? Alright, the next thing. They want you to put this in a certain way. It goes in like this. I'll show you how in a minute. Note that it shows airflow with the arrow pointing down. Right here. Airflow. Arrow pointing down. Here's the new one. Less pleats. Here's where it says airflow, arrow pointing up. So does that mean you put it in upside down like this? So then the writing is upside down and doesn't really sync with the arrow, which is right here. Alright, let's get it out of the package and see how this is going to go. It goes in right here. Okay, presumably that's how it's going to be. It looks like the air comes in from here. There's no filter here to keep mice out, so if mice get in the car, they're just going to run through here and drop down on top of it. I know I have had huge mouse nests on top of this one. Didn't have it today. Just some dirt and seeds. This is what the new one looks like. Got it from Scamazon. It was cheap enough. So I want to take the time to confirm that these instructions are wrong, and so are the instructions that come with the product, the printed instructions, because it says right here, the filter is designed to be installed in one direction only. Remove the cabin air filter if equipped. Note that the arrow on the face of the camera faces up. See illustration. Well, I don't see where it shows it facing up in the illustration, but they always tell you to put it so that it faces up in the direction of the airflow. A Premium Cabin Air Filter Installation Instruction. Location 1. Rear side of the glove box. Now, look at figure B. Note the location of the blower motor. In this diagram, it's on top of the air filter, but on the 2006 Subaru Impreza, it's below the air filter. Well, let me tell you, the airflow is down. And if you look at this white flap here up on top, All right, I'm going to activate this lever. This is outside air coming in, and this is recirculation of inside air. So right now I have it on outside air. And if you look, you'll see that the flap is closed. Now as I move the lever to recirculate inside air, the flap is open, and it allows cabin air to go through the filter into the fan. Now, I don't know that it makes any difference how you put this in, but if you want to put it in direction of the airflow, the direction of airflow is definitely down, not up. You have filtered air going into the plastic fan, which is in this big black box down here. Then it goes through ductwork. Here's the ductwork that takes it over to the driver's side of the car. And there's ductwork that brings it up to this vent. So filtered air is coming from the outside or from the inside down through the fan. Then the fan circulates it through the ductwork to the vents. So direction of airflow is down, not up. The directions are wrong. So that's the first wrong thing. Now the next wrong thing has to do with that white filter cover shown on the carpet there. There are two tabs on the bottom, and according to these instructions in the service manual, depress the tabs on the cabin air filter cover and remove the cover. See illustration. Well, no, you don't depress those tabs. You pull out on them. Let me show you. So obviously this covers the filter. These clips on the top, there's 3 of these across the top. They snap in, and look at the ones on the bottom. They hook. These here, there's 2 of them. They hook underneath here. There's a catch here, and there's a catch that you can barely see there. So they hook underneath. And the only way you get this out is to get under there and hook this out. You've got to pry out. If you're on top following the instructions and trying to depress here, you're not going to get anywhere. You've got to hook underneath and pull out. Just a word to the wise. It's wrong again. Let's see if we can clip this on. Now these 3 across the top, they go inside the compartment like that. They go inside. They don't go on top. They go inside. And now you should be able to, there you go, clip it back on. I only got one side caught. Okay. All right, that's in. So that's how that works. Now we've got these two wires that we had to get out of the way. This one is the blower motor. Look at this tab here on the side. That tab has to be released to get this out of its socket. So I've got a screwdriver stuck in there. The screwdriver will press down on that tab and allow you to release it. So let's put it back in. I love instructions like remove glove box. They don't give you any of these tips. So I've got it in. To remove it, the screwdriver would go here. You would press in on the tab, then you could pull this out. Of course, it's a 2-hand job, but something goes in here, press down on that tab, squeeze it in, then you can pull this out. This one goes to the glove box light. It is very, very difficult to remove this. Extremely difficult. There's a hook here that has to be pressed down. Not easy. But if you don't get these wires out of the way, there's no way you're getting this out. Alright, well now let's try to get the glove box back in place, because those instructions are wrong as well. And what they don't tell you is that there's a fastener right here on the side, and if you don't take that out first, then you think you've got all your screws out and you're removing the glove box, and it doesn't want to come because no one told you about the fastener that's over here. So let's go get the glove box and try to get this back on. So here's the glove box. It also includes this big side piece that wraps around, and that's where that fastener is that's not in the instructions. So they want you to take out a bunch of screws. These are not easily seen once it's in the car. You're kneeling outside the door. You've got to really twist into contortion to get this out of here, but these are the two bottom ones that have to come out. Then you open the glove box. One here, so we're at 2 so far. 3, 4, 5, this one's in the middle, 6, 7. You think you're all done, but there's 2 more in here, and you need a much longer screwdriver to get to these. So we got 9 screws total. Another one here. And you can see that this really isn't easy, because look how dug out this side is. Now, how they could screw up what should be such a simple job, but automotive engineers, right? Alright, let's try to get this thing back in. Alright, the first thing we have to do is reconnect the bulb. And as you can see, they made the wire so short that you can't do it with this resting on the floor. It has to be supported and in the air, and that makes it doubly difficult to put this all back into place, or even to take it apart, because they save the extra 2 inches it would have taken to get this down to the floor to make it easy to connect and disconnect. So I'll put the camera down and see how I do. I don't think you're going to do this from inside the car. You're going to be straddled outside the car for sure. And it goes in easier than it came out. Alright, we'll try to get a couple here caught on the bottom maybe. Kneeling in the driveway now, trying to find these. Now, one of the things, the screwdriver has to be almost parallel to the floor. So there's your angle for driving those screws. Okay, we got 2. Oh. Here's my plastic screw. Alright, let's get this in on the side, because that's what held us up before. Now here's the long screwdriver that we need to do the 2 in the back. Note to myself, if you live long enough to have to do this again, get this out first. Alright, now let's start her up and see if everything still works. Yep. Plenty of air coming out of here. Alright, that's working pretty good. That's recirculation. This is outside. Also very good. Let's see if the light still works. Yep, I still have a light. Does it go off? Yep, it's off. So we have a new cabin air filter. Everything still works. And I hope these tips help someone, because it's quite frustrating when you pay for instructions and they're almost always wrong. So these are the tools that you need to do this job. Long number 2 Phillips. Standard size number 2 Phillips. A couple of small screwdrivers for disconnecting the electrical connectors. Use the razor knife for opening up the package here of the new cabin air filter. Now the dirt that you see in here, that's even though this didn't look that dirty, this is just stuff that fell out since I had it here in the basket. And if you hold this up to the sun, you can see how much dirt is actually caught in there. Quite a bit of stuff in there. And you can see it's trapped here. Let's see where the arrow is. And there's your airflow. See, pointing down, not up. This is where it's trapped. It's not trapped on this side. There's nothing trapped here. It's just amazing that they could get that backwards in the instructions. Just amazing. But they do. So yeah, not nearly as bad as the two in the VWs, but definitely time for a change. Hope this helps someone. Thanks for watching.